So moving forward, now we will see some advanced function in an OpenCV. What we have. This is the second part of our session. So first we will cover what is thresholding in OpenCV. So I know this is some kind of new word for you, for many of you. So thresholding is a technique of assignment of the pixels. So it is the technique used for us segmentation purpose. So this is okay. So this is the image. Here you can see this is a green background, and the person is in air. This is called as foreground, and the green thing is called as a background. So for chroma keying is one of the application of it. So whenever we need to segment this out, right? Because if you are doing some kind of animation, if you are building, making some movies, so you need to segment out the foreground. How can you do that? So here thresholding works. So what you do with thresholding, I will cover it in a later portion. So you basically segment the foreground, and then you can put it on other images also. So you can see this thing. This is a map. You can see this is a water, and this is the land. Okay. So now you wanted to segment the water from the land, because in this image it's not very clear. So what you can do, you can use the image thresholding, and you can segment the water out. Here you can see we have segmented the water out from the image. So that's the application of it. So how we are going to do this, we will see. The important thing is thresholding can only be applied on a grayscale images. So that's the point to remember, guys. So types of thresholding we have simple thresholding, we have adaptive thresholding, we have Ostus binarization. So we will cover both every thresholding. Okay. So what is simple thresholding? So basically we will see using an example. So suppose you wanted to segment out this foreground. How you can do this? Suppose what I do, you know that for a grayscale image, the minimum value is 0 and the maximum value is 255. 255 corresponding to a brightest pixel and 0 corresponding to a black pixel. So you need to segment this out. How will you do it? So what you will do, if you can, what I can say, if you can, okay, if you can make all the pixels 255 in this region, all the pixels to 255 value, 255 by 255 I mean the brightest pixel. The brightest pixels are white and the darkest will be a black. So if you can convert this into all white pixels, just like in this case. So and the background by 0 0 0 0. So 0 and you fill it 0. So you can segment this image from the background. So basically what we do in a simple thresholding, we give a threshold. So let's say you give a threshold of 125, and you know this and you know that this value is 135. Okay, this here the value is 135. Okay, I'm not able to write it on a window, and this value is 100. So what a simple thresholding will do, it will check all the pixels. So if the pixels is greater than 255, it will convert it to a 255, and if it is less, it will convert into a 0. So obviously you can see the background is doesn't have a greater contrast, means they will have a less pixels value, and you have to figure one threshold, and after that you can apply thresholding, and all the pixels under this area, the brighter region will get brighter and the darker region will get darkest, will be darkest. So this is how it works. We need to specify. So we have a function for it, cv2.threshold. We need to give 4 parameters: grayscale image, second the threshold value, and third the maximum value you will assign after your pixels is greater than the threshold value, and fourth the type of simple thresholding. So we have different type of simple thresholding as well. So these are all working with the same principle. So what we have in a binary thrashing is, if the pixel intensity is greater than the set threshold pixel value set to 255 else to 0. Okay, I think we have some doubt. Okay. Do we have some doubt? Okay, I guess no. If you have any doubt, feel free to ask. And thrash underscore binary underscore inverted is just a inverted case. So if the pixel is greater than the threshold, you will assign it to a 0, and else you will assign it to a 255. Thrash underscore truncated. So if the pixel intensity is greater than the threshold, it is truncated to a threshold, and all the other pixels remain same. Thrash to 0, pixel intensity is set to 0 for all the pixel intensity less than the threshold value. So and this is just the inverted case of it. So we will see by the example. So here you can implement it. So here I have used all the 4 techniques. CV.threshold. I give the image. I take the threshold 120. We have to get this threshold. We have to check the image by giving different threshold. We usually start with 100, and then you can increase. We can 120, so that you can get a better result. So your foreground is way more separated. If you increase the higher threshold or lower threshold, you have to check it yourself. So this is the input image. This is the binary thrashing. This is the inverted binary thrashing. This is truncated thrashing. This is thrashing to 0. This is inversion of thrashing to 0. So here you can see the image is not properly segmented, guys. So we need furthermore techniques so that we can get it more segmented. We will cover it in our later portion. Okay. Now moving back to an adaptive thresholding. So what a simple thresholding is doing, it basically using a global threshold, but here what we are using, we are dividing the image in different. Yes, do we have doubt? Okay, cool. So if you are so wait a second. So here what we are going to do, we are basically going to do the threshold by dividing this image into a different portion. So this image, so we have divided into a different portion, and then as per the average value of these pixels, we will automatically get a threshold. Here we do not need to give the threshold, it will automatically get calculated, and we will apply the thresholding. Simarjeet, do you have any doubt?
We will request you guys to put yourself on mute if you do not have any doubt. Simarjeet, we have been seeing you a lot. There has been a noise coming from your side, so we may have to exit you from this session if this keeps on happening. So Ansh, you can mute all the participants. Okay, if there is a news coming from their side.
Okay.
If they have any doubt, they can unmute themselves.
Okay.
Just go ahead.
So for adaptive thresholding, we have this function adaptive under threshold. So apart from the thing which we have, apart from the parameter which we have used in a simple thresholding, we have to give 2 more parameters. So first is the area size which you are going to use to you can use this area, you can also use this area. So that is one of the parameter you have to give, and the method you will use. So we have 2 methods here, adaptive methods, adaptive underscore thresh underscore mean. So it will basically take the mean of all the neighborhood area, just like this, the area, I will take the mean. So that will be my threshold. Then it will automatically do the thresholding. Okay. So and the other is thresh underscore Gaussian underscore C. So it is basically take the neighborhood values which are from the Gaussian distribution. So we will also specify a constant C which will be subtracted from these value in order to provide some human thing in what you can say in a threshold, because the algorithm calculated the threshold automatically. So this is the way we where's my so this is a way where we can implement our adaptive thresholding. So you specify the image, you give the maximum value which is 255, and you are not giving a threshold here, and you give the method, and this is how the results look like. This is the adaptive mean thresholding, and this is Gaussian thresholding. Here you can see the result is burst as compared to global thresholding. In global thresholding, we can see that we segment the cat images so far, but here it get messed up. So sometimes it worked, sometimes it's not. It depend upon the lighting condition in a image. So here you can see this is the original image I have implemented a global thresholding using a threshold of 127. I get this result. This is complete. This completely ruins my image. Now I use the adaptive mean thresholding, and this is the result I got, and adaptive Gaussian thresholding, and by this I got this result. So in some cases, adaptive thresholding works. In some cases, simple thresholding works. You have to check it yourself. So now we will cover the third technique, Ost's binarization. So for this, we have to cover the histogram. So are you guys know what do you guys know what is histogram? Comment yes or no. I will not ask the definition, but just yes and no. Yes. Don't know. Okay. So histogram is a representation of distribution of the data. Suppose this is your matrix, and you know this is your image, which is and the corresponding matrix is here for this, for the image. And now here you have a values, different pixels values. So what a histogram do, it represents the relative frequency of occurrence of various pixels in an image. So you can see zero, the 0 pixels appear twice. So yeah, you can see this is the 0 and it appears twice. One pixel appear only one time. 2 pixels, the pixel with a value 2 appear 2 times. So this is basically a histogram. Okay, I can see no number of time that a particular event is occurring. Yeah, that's correct. But yeah, that's correct. But in our image, number of time a particular pixels is occurring. So that is more correct in terms of image. So moving forward. So how can we plot the histogram? So first we need to read the image. We have to here I plotted a grayscale histogram. Grayscale has one channel, so here you can see only one plot, and here you can see three lines corresponding. So this is the function which we have to calc and hist to get the histogram. Basically, this is the color code, and this is 0. If you are using 3 plots, so you will give 3 I, just like in this case I use the loop, and bin size, and the so this is the bin size. Maximum bin size can be 256 because we are using the grayscale image or RGB image. We have a value from 0 to 255, and this is the range 0 to 256. This corresponding to this range. Okay. So that is all about the histogram. We will see how an Ost's binarization work. So in Ost's binarization, the algorithm calculated the threshold using the histogram. In our adaptive thresholding, we are calculating the threshold automatically by the area. But here we are not using any area. Here we are using the image histogram. We will see how we do it. So suppose this is an image. So corresponding to this image, we have this histogram. Okay. So now suppose, okay. Now suppose we have to segment the foreground and the background. So what we can do, let's say 2 is the value uh, which is the best value. Okay. So if you apply that threshold of 2, then you will get your foreground separated. So what this do, so if 2 is the threshold you will choose, so it will divide it two cases. So the class 1 corresponding to your foreground, or class 2 corresponding to your, like, class 1 is for background and class 2 is for your foreground. So basically what it will do, it will try to increase the within class variance, and it will try to increase the what you can say, different class variance. So basically what we are trying to do, we are calculating it the variance of it, we are calculating the variance of it, we are trying to uh, this is how we calculate it, and we try to maximize it. Okay. So if 2 is your value, then within class variance value will be a minimum, and between class variance value will be a maximum. So we will take different value 3. So we will calculate the within class variance and between class variance, and if it is minimum, then that will be our threshold. And so this is how the histogram works. So basically we don't this is all about the mathematics portion. For the implementation part, we only have a simple single word implementation. So what you do, you implement cb.threshold, you give the image, you give okay, we will see picture value, and you have to give the method. Here you have the method which you are using for simple thresholding, and and along with a flag which will give the computer helps to know that you are using a Vastu binarization. So this is how it is done. And you can see this is the original image. We apply a global threshold. This the image looks like, and this is the OS2 binarization. So here you can see that OS2 binarization image is far better as compared to this image, because here you can see there's black here. The image is not segmented properly, but you can see there's a white, and here you can see the face of the cat also. So it works better. And here we do not need to bother about giving the threshold. It is automatically calculated using the histogram. So that is all about the OS2 binary.